Hi everyone, and welcome back. We're excited to introduce the latest release of SpreadsheetWeb, packed with new features that make building powerful web applications from Excel easier than ever. In this release, we're unveiling the Simple Database, a streamlined way to store and manage data without any setup or technical complexity. Whether you're building coding tools, surveys, or any data-driven app, now you can skip the hassle and get started instantly. Plus, we've made Power Queries more dynamic than ever, with support for live inputs from your current workbook, enabling smarter and more responsive applications. Let's dive in and take a look at what's new. The Simple Database feature is now available. How would you describe it to someone familiar with Excel, but not databases?
Yeah, so with SpreadsheetWeb, normally you're able to store data in the system. So when you're creating an application that generates information or data, like a quoting application, a rating tool, something like that, or even like a survey, and you want users to come in and save that data, we have this databases module. Now, the simple databases module is kind of like our newest approach on this data storage mechanism. And it resembles very similarly like the complex database portion, except it requires absolutely no configuration. So you just come into the system, add a save button, and voila. As soon as the user presses the save button, all the data will be stored and can be reloaded again later.
That's very interesting. So how is Simple Database different from something like traditional data tables?
Sure. So we actually still retain our old traditional data table model as well. We're just calling it complex databases. The way that complex databases work is that when you create a new application, you actually have to go through and define the relationship between all the data. So if you have like a grid, that's going to be a one-to-many table, and it's tied to the primary database. And then if you have like data that you want to store in specific places or in specific ways, you can accomplish that. But it takes a lot of time. So often we've found, and we've tried in the past to just kind of add new tools like auto generation of databases. Automated app creation has a similar functionality. But we still found that it was just a lot. It's a lot for a new user who comes into the system to have to go through and say, yeah, so I want an input grid with this number of columns. And then at the same time, I want a database with this number of columns and go through every single one of those columns. Sometimes those grids have 20, 40, 100 columns. And that's just a lot of time that a user has to spend configuring databases. In most cases, it really doesn't matter to them. So what we decided was that we would take this new approach where instead of you figuring out what data needs to be stored, we're going to figure it out for you. We already have a lot of good intuition on that because we've been doing for many years the auto generation for those tables. Now we're just taking that out of your hands entirely and saying, listen, if you don't care about what types of data they are, and we're going to do our best to auto detect it for you. And in 99% of the cases, that's going to be enough.
So what are some of the main use cases this new feature is meant to solve?
So we have a lot of people who come into the system and they just get kind of confused. So the primary one is just to get new users up and going, bootstrapped and ready for building their applications without having to spend a ton of time. Our automated app creation is built into this too. So when you go in and you say here's my Excel file, make me an application, automatically it's going to figure out all of that information for you. And it's going to make it much easier for you in the future to maintain those applications. So let's say you come in 3 months later and you want to add 5 more columns to the table. In the past, you'd have to come in and you'd add the columns, and then you'd upload the file. And then the system would tell you, you have too many columns, it's too much data. You need to add new columns to the tables, or you need to add them to the input grids. But now, instead of having to go through that rigmarole, we're just going to figure it out automatically for you. So it really enables you to not spend so much time focused on how the data is stored, but let us handle that information for you without you having to go through it.
That's very valuable. So why did you decide to add this? Why wasn't it done from the beginning?
Yeah, so in the original system, when we started scaffolding out the designer many years ago at this point, one of our main goals was to make the database system as robust as possible. We really wanted to give users a ton of control, have you be able to say, I need this column to be exactly this way, so that when users are filling out data, it kind of keeps everything very rigid. And also for secondary systems, we have many clients where they're trying to pull data from those systems later, and they really need to know, what the size is, the maximum sizes for a specific column, or how much data it's possible to have on a specific row. So we tried to build the most robust system, but as a result of building the most robust system, we also built the most complex system. And that complexity was kind of transferred over to our end users. And so finally, like we decided, we've had enough of the most complex version of this. We still have that functionality in that tool set for those users who require this, but for most users, it just isn't necessary. And this is the simplest approach. And that's why it's called SimpleDB.
So are there any limitations?
So we tried our best to make it so that everything is equitable between the SimpleDB and the complex databases. And in general, that's basically true. Everything that you used to love and enjoy about the complex databases is still there for SimpleDB. You have the data page where you can edit and modify the columns. You have importing, you have exporting. A lot of those functionalities are already baked in and work directly as they did before. The primary differences are with two modules. One is the queries module, which is only available for private servers anyway. Queries module can no longer be hooked up to applications with simple databases. It's something that we're considering adding again in the future, but we think that we might actually not even necessarily need it because that functionality isn't used quite as much as it had initially been intended for. Instead, a lot of the time people are using the DB Connect formula. That's what we see far more often or far more frequently. And what we're actually looking to do is create a new functionality for simple databases that mirrors that. So it's not here yet, but we're looking for it looking forward to releasing it rather in the next version or two.
That sounds great. So we hear that you extended stuff for Power Query. What's the scoop on that?
Yeah, so Power Queries, which we released last revision, we talked a lot about it during our last kind of like release interview. What we've done with this release version is that we've actually added dynamic input capabilities. So in the past, or just basically for the last 4 weeks, you've had access to building Power Queries that are very static. So you could say like, pull me earthquake data from 2024 to 2025. There's really no way to like reflect any modifications from the Excel file into that type of query. So now what we've done is we've extended it with what we call current workbook support. Built into Power Queries, basically the ability for you to use information or data from the current workbook as part of your query. So you can say, based on this specific named range, that's going to get injected into my query. So I want, all the earthquakes that have magnitude greater than X, and X is a cell in the workbook. So finally, we've been able to actually manage to include that into this current release. And so you'll be able to make your Power Queries more powerful and more dynamic than ever.
Amazing. So last question, what are some cases for this?
Yeah, so honestly, most cases with Power Query require something like this. If you're building a Power Query, yeah, you might be pulling data externally, but if you're building something dynamic like a grid that reflects, all of the quotes from your company that have a premium greater than X, or that have, more than 10 buildings on it, or have more than 8 cars, or whatever. That kind of stuff, that kind of filtering is really complex, but it's kind of the main use case for most people. The reason why you'd want it to be dynamic. Otherwise, you could just use data sources, or pull that data manually if you wanted to, or connect to that data in some other way, without actually reflecting any data from the Excel file. But now this really emboldens you to be able to build Power Queries as they're meant to be used, as kind of dynamic sets of data that you can pull from and tie into the core functionality of your Excel file in your app.
This was all very valuable information. It was great meeting with you, Sasha. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me about the new release for SpreadsheetWeb. Thanks for watching and being part of the SpreadsheetWeb community. With features like Simple Database and Enhanced Power Query capabilities, this release is all about removing complexity and helping you build faster, smarter applications straight from Excel. If you haven't already, be sure to check out the full update, try it out for yourself, and let us know what you think. We'll see you next time.